Hey guys, Flubberleaky here today, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Create a World. Because I did that tutorial the other day on how to install Create a World if you had Steam, and then I kind of wanted to make a world, and I thought I might as well make a series out of it. Now, the reason this is all sped up is because creating a world takes a long time, as you would probably expect, so I thought it'd probably be best to speed it up. But I can guarantee you it's still going to go for a very long time, the series. But anyways, so right now I'm making an island. Obviously, it's on a small-sized map because I don't want to be too ambitious in the size of the world, because the bigger you make it, the longer it's going to take, and the harder it's going to be, and all that kind of stuff. But so I chose a small map size, and I'm just making an island, which most people do, because if you don't make an island, it can become very hard to sort of hide the surrounding ocean, because there's nothing you can do with it. You can't turn off the ocean around it, you can't turn it into grass or anything. It's always going to be there. Um, so I've started off making it all nice and flat, basically, because I want enough place to build flat lots, because what's going to happen with this is I'm going to create the world, I'm going to create the terrain and all that sort of stuff, make it look really nice, and then I'm going to build all the lots in it. So it's going to be like, first I create the world, then like what I've got now with speed builds, there's going to be speed builds of every lot on this world. And then finally, when it's all done, it'll be put up for download and everybody can use it, basically. That's the plan anyways. I'll probably do, because I did start Create a World tutorials up again a couple of months ago, but then I stopped, mainly because I hadn't been using the thing, so I don't really know what I was doing anymore. But I think this is a good time that I can probably start the Create a World tutorials again, because I'm learning how to use this thing again. Well, it's not really learning, it's kind of like riding a bike. If you haven't done it in a while, you can pick it up and start doing the exact same thing as before. Like, you can pick it up straight away, it's quite easy. But I just want to get to know the program again, so I know exactly what I'm saying when I do tutorials of it, because there's nothing worse than a tutorial that teaches you the wrong thing and something you don't want to know. Now, the reason I was kind of inspired to do this, and an inspiration for this world, was I was just driving home and I was looking at all the houses and all the suburban houses and all that, and how houses are so close together. Like, they're all right next to each other, and I think that looks really cool. Like, a neighborhood in The Sims where all the houses are sort of nice and neatly sort of all put next to each other, and it looks like a real sort of dense suburban area would be really cool. I don't know, that just kind of made me want to make a world, I suppose. Although this is an island, which isn't exactly a dense suburban area, but there's some parts where I put the houses right next to each other, like you're going to see here. I'm putting all these 20 by 30 lots right next to each other. I thought that'd be a good size um, for houses. I like building at that size anyways. It provides enough room for a nice backyard and a decent sized house. And I think it's going to be really good. So I was just trying to get the houses really close together, but I found you can't get them closer than one square together. You can't do like half a square closer. It doesn't let you. So there's a bit of a gap between them. Actually, well, it's one square in Create a World, but in the game, I think it might be maybe four or two squares, maybe in the actual Sims 3. I don't know, but anyways, so that's as close as the lots I could get them right there. But I think it's pretty decent, anyways. So you see, I'm making a kind of nice little street here with all the houses right next to each other. Oh, there will be houses at a future point in time. Um, I don't know. I felt like putting a path there because it fit quite nicely, so I did that. I thought it looked good. I don't know, but I do a bit of like the terrain sculpting and all that sort of stuff in this part. Near the end, I think it's starting to look pretty good at the end of this, anyways. So yeah, anyways, so I've done that kind of little section there of houses, which will probably stay the same. I don't know if I'm going to change it. And I really wanted to do a road that kind of goes along the edge of the island, like it kind of just goes right by the water and everything. I thought it'd be really cool, and that's indeed what I do right now. I bring it around right around the edge, here along the edge of the island, and the shape changes quite a bit, and the actual mountains and stuff I mess around with those a bit later, which is bound to happen because like whenever you put new stuff in, you got to sort of work around the terrain and make it how you want it to fit and all that kind of stuff. So you can see I made the road, and then there's a nice little road tool that allows you to sort of flatten the road. I'm using it now, or flatten the road out and get rid of all the sort of unruly terrain. As you can see there now, it's all kind of flattened out nicely, or more or less. There's some parts I have to fix up right here, but it looks pretty cool in the end. By the end of this part anyways, I reckon the island is going along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm just going to make sure that I include all of the required rabbit holes and stuff, and by that I mean like all the job locations, like I don't know, criminal journalism, all that kind of stuff. Because if I forget some of that stuff, that could be a bit awkward when people come to play it, because some things won't be available. And I haven't decided yet what expansion packs I want to use. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards not using any expansion packs. But there's also a reason I don't like that idea, because it's not going to allow me to do any bridges, because Create a World bridges came in. There's some in World Adventures, there's some in Late Night. There's probably some in others. I haven't really looked into it for a while, but yeah, so if I don't use expansions, I can't do proper bridges. It's the only problem, because I kind of wanted to do some bridges in this world, because it is an island, and I thought it might look nice. But we'll see. I haven't decided yet. It might very well just be a base game world, which means that anyone who has a Sim 3 can download it without any problems. And I was having a bit of an issue with joining the roads here for some reason. They didn't want to join. I don't know what it was. I eventually got it to work. And you can see there's like that tiny little sort of gap there, and it wouldn't go away. So I think does this one work? Nope, still did the same thing. I have no idea what I did to fix it now. I think yeah, then it did that weird overlapping thing, and then one thing after another. I eventually got it to work. That still didn't work, apparently. I'm looking at it now. Oh my god. Yeah, there's still some things in this that are a bit dodgy, like mainly roads. They're a bit wonky sometimes. There you go. I think I got it to join just then. Pretty exciting stuff. And I think this one here joins a little easier than the last one. Maybe. Oh yes, it did. Very nice. So that was easier. Anyway, so I've kind of only started what you see now, the kind of area where the road sort of circles around. That's the only area I focus on in this video anyways. This little part I'm flattening out here, it's going to be like a nice big lot. It's 50 by 50, it fits in there eventually. I might actually change that, because I made it completely flat later on. But I think it might be cool to have a cliffside lot and have like pillars going into the ocean. And that could be really cool, because it's stuff like that you can't do in regular worlds, because the lots don't go over the ocean, so it's not possible to do. And often you don't get cliff lots either. There's some in Sunset Valley, like the one I'm building on at the moment, and then there's a couple in Starlight Shores, but you just don't get the sort of cliff lots, and you don't get any sort of lots that go into the ocean either. So that's what I wanted to do in this, get some really cool lots. Because when you create your own world, you can place the lots however you want. Basically, you can have them completely underwater. You could have a house completely on still. I'm going to do that now, actually. I just thought about that. That could be a really cool lot. Like, have a lot completely underwater. So, like, your whole lot is just covered in water, and you build your house over the water entirely. So it's like kind of a boardwalk house. That could be very cool. I don't know. I'll have to look into that anyways. See how that goes. That could be really interesting to do anyways. This lot here was giving me a lot of troubles as well. Look, I flattened it. It was all raised up, and it was odd, so I had to do it again. I do that lot a number of times, actually. There's so many times that it doesn't work properly. But now, looking back at it now, like I just said before, I might change that lot entirely and make it go into the water a bit, because it doesn't go into the water at all by the time I'm finished with it anyways. I do a lot of changing on this one, actually. I spent quite a bit of time on that. Make it look decent, because if I just did what I'm doing now and left it like that doesn't look very good at all. It looks like it's a perfectly raised square, so I thought I brought it out and made it look a bit more natural. But again, I think I do change it later on, because I think it messes up at some point, and I'm like, I have to fix it again. I don't know, but anyways, but yeah, so I'm pretty excited for this world anyways, like, because I've never started a world. Like, I haven't gone from start to finish on a world. Like, I've started worlds in the past, but I've never finished them. And I think doing a video series of it creates a lot more motivation to actually finish the world. So I'm really hoping that this actually eventually does become a finished product. Oh, well, I think it will. I mean, yeah, because it's definitely a key motivation doing a video series of it to finish it. At the moment, I was raiding up the land here to create a nice kind of like shallow water, but the only problem is because the edge of the world is quite close, it looks a bit weird if it just goes flat out to the edge and then disappears under the water. I don't know. But anyways, I played around with that a bit. And with these, you'll see what I completely changed this idea. I was going to have a cliff, like a little cliff there, but then I kind of just changed it into a sloping beach later on. And just create some beach lots there and make it look nice, basically, is what I'm going for. And yeah, sorry about that little Steam pop-up on the right there. And there's also a Skype one at the beginning. It's because I'm just recording my screen when I'm doing this, and I have Steam and Skype open, so those things are expected to happen anyways. Uh, so ignore those if those pop up. Yeah, so here, actually, I'm placing lots already, but I do get rid of this one pretty soon, I think. Yep, there it goes already. Because yeah, I changed it into this nicer slope. I think I can build some pretty cool lots there. I managed to fit 3 20 by 30 lots in. Oh, 20 by 40 maybe I put in there. I'm not sure. I'll put in some decent sized lots in there, so I can have some nice sort of ocean, like decks going out over the ocean and stuff, and really nice entertaining areas. It could be really cool. So I'm looking forward to building those anyways. That'll be really fun. Because the great thing about, yeah, doing this world as well is I get to try a lot of different like ways to build houses in The Sims anyways. A lot of different styles of houses as well. Sort of, because it's more, I suppose it's going to be more of a, it seems like a holiday destination, so it might be like kind of holiday home styled houses anyways. I don't know. It's to be determined, obviously. Like I haven't planned out what the house is going to look like or anything. All of what you're seeing now as well is just done on the, like, I'm just doing it as I go. I don't have any plans for the island really. I usually make my decisions in the moment. And whether I like it or not is decides whether I keep it or not. And you can see I'm having a bit of trouble with this lot here. The little corner messed up, and then I had to change it again. Flatten it out, delete the lot, build it again. That lot there was just annoying. So, but anyways, I think I'm going to change that now that like I said before, I want it to go into the ocean. That could be pretty cool anyways. And I think it'll be better than having a big flat plot up there. And especially because it's a 50 by 50 plot, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge, because it's going to be a very big house anyways. If I do, I don't know how much of the lot will be house, so it might be a lot of sort of garden and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. That's all to be determined. Hasn't been mapped out or anything. We'll just see how that goes. Anyway, so looking quite nice at the moment, if I do say so myself. Anyways, obviously it's all just grass at the moment. I'll do all the terrain painting and everything later. I'll probably change. Oh, I don't know yet. I might change the road texture, because you can change what the road looks like. So I might change that later on. Actually, I think it's really annoying to change. I think you have to do... because I don't know if they changed it, but back in the day, if you wanted to change your road texture, you had to delete all the roads you had and put down new ones, which was kind of annoying. I hope it's not like that, but I think it might be. Which will be very, very inconvenient indeed. Anyways, what I'm doing now as well, I thought it might be cool to have something at the top of the mountain and maybe have a few levels here, have a couple of lots of different heights and all that sort of stuff. But I quickly realized the logistics of that were not very good, because the area was really small and it would be really hard to get pathways up there. So instead, I do this part here. I flatten out this little section here, and I managed to get 3 houses to fit in that area, I think. Yeah, I get 3 houses in there at a nice height, and they have a cliff just on the edge, which will allow me to do a nice little balcony there again. I think it's gonna look really cool anyways. A lot of the houses, how I'm building them on like cliffs or something, I think it could look really cool in the end. And it could really make the island look awesome. Well, I'm hoping anyways. I think it'll look really cool. I don't know if I might make a bigger mountain over the other side, but the only problem with mountains on small maps is that it's just that. It's a small map, so you don't have much room for a mountain. But it could be cool to make it like a volcanic island, have like a volcano or something. Not so much a volcano, just like a big sort of mountain with a crater in the middle, with lava possibly. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna fit, because there really isn't that much room to work with, anyways. But I kind of like it, because this size of world I think is good, and for a couple of reasons, because it's not too big to handle for one person. So I can probably happily finish this world off myself. That should be quite good. And also it's not too like small that you can't fit a decent amount in. But the problem is, it's not big enough that you can do some really cool mountains and stuff. So it might have been better to start with a bigger world size, although I can't really be bothered to change it now. So we're going to work with this. We'll see how we go. But I think by the end of this video, it looks pretty decent anyways. It's coming along quite nicely. I think this little road part here is maybe the last thing I do in this episode. You can see those lots there. I put them on the side. They're all 20 by 26 in size. bit of an irregular size, but it doesn't really matter because it's custom lots anyways that are going to be there, built by yours truly. Maybe a couple friends actually, because Q Builders and Deluxe Designs, if you guys remember those guys, they're pretty keen on coming back as well. Because we're starting up the Sim Supply website, so they're really keen to get back in on that as well. So maybe they'll build some stuff on here as well. I don't know if they're interested in that or not. But anyway, here is what I've done so far in the world. You can see I've done a couple of roads and the mountains and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, that's it for this part. Keeping it short and sweet as to not overload you with too much content. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you in the next part of this. I don't know when it will be. Maybe in a couple days. Maybe next year. Who knows? Probably not next year. It'll probably be a couple days, next week, maybe sometime. Anyways, I'm Flabberleaky, and thanks for watching Let's Create a World, Episode 1. I'll see you next time.